What's up everybody? Today we're going to be watching Say Less by Alex Slay. It's a music video that I shot and it's one of my favorite ones that I've ever done. So we're going to go scene by scene and break down why I made some of the decisions I made in the directing, the compositions, the lighting, the edit, the color, the blah 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 blah. Alright, let's get to the video. So how I kind of worked on this one was I created a visual treatment, scene by scene, of how I could see it, and basically a full-on concept. I'll put some of the treatment slides up on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go full in depth and talk about it, but I will be referencing it throughout this video. If you're interested in a video where I go through all my treatments and kind of show you what the treatment was versus what I shot, leave a comment and I'll get that video to y'all soon. So in this scene, as you can see, it's clearly a silhouette. And that's something I treated within the treatment. I wanted a bunch of silhouettes in the video and they were all going to be performance shots for the most part. The story behind this is we actually didn't even plan this shot out. We didn't light it. We didn't do anything. Alex walked past the room. He saw that, whoa, there's a light coming in through these curtains. It's super dope. It made the room really orange. So I was like, that's sick. Let's go ahead and shoot that before we do anything else. So I told him to stand in front of the windows. We did it a couple different times. At first, we did one where he was facing out the window. I shot that, didn't really like it too much. And then we did this direction where he's parallel to the window so we could see his lips, we could see his movement. The direction of this was to do a lot of movement so we can see what you are doing. Let's see you mouth the words. Let's see you vibe a little bit. Let's see you 1, 2, 3. Let's see you be a little bit animated in this. Just to bring that vibe to it. Cause you know, it's a dancing song. You know, it makes you want to move. It's a summertime vibe. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with those type of songs, you have to get the vibes right. That little movement. You at the club, rooftop, there's some palm trees behind you, you know, that type of vibe, you know what I'm saying? Composition. So the composition, like I kind of already touched on that, in order to get this full effect and kind of make the scene look pretty flat, I shot on a 70mm lens. And the only reasoning behind that is because if I was to shoot on like a 16mm or 24-35, you would probably see the edge of the window. This is, you can tell it's a window, but at the same time, it's kind of makes it a little bit of abstract. You know, you got the lines going across it, you got the leaves coming out. You can assume that it's a window, but I just wanted to make sure that I compressed it and made it as dynamic as possible, you know, especially with this orange color that's just shining through everything. I saw that it was kind of getting stale, you know? So in a lot of it, I either put a Super 8 preset on it to where it make it look more film-esque, I guess, or kind of started playing with transparencies, the blend options, scaling up and down and overlaying, you know? We got the original video, then I duplicated that layer, scaled it up a little bit and put a transparency layer on it and flipped it. That's all that is. So the kitchen scene, I treated it like I knew the vibe that I wanted. I didn't know that we were gonna shoot in the kitchen until we got to the house. You know, I scouted the day I got there that we were shooting and I was like, okay, the kitchen would be a perfect place to get this type of shot. I saw that this was a dope area and it would be perfect for this early morning vibe. And that's kind of what the direction of it was. The look that I wanted was early morning. Their favorite song just came on, so they're dancing in the kitchen. They know the words, so they're singing it to each other. They're dancing around. If you have a significant other, there's those moments where y'all are just acting stupid with each other. How I portrayed it on the screen and shot it on camera is kind of the feeling that I get when I do that with my wife, you know? So I really just wanted to make sure that that came through. Let's talk about the lighting. Right outside that window is a 200x Amaran with a Fresnel on it pointing directly in harsh light. It's supposed to be early morning, so we want that light through the window. And that's really what's doing all the work. On the other side, to fill some of that shadow in and some of that harshness in, we got a 100x with a softbox on it, pushing back the light into their face. So you can kind of see that in some of the frames. The other thing that really adds to it is the haze. Haze is a secret weapon that not a lot of people know. Get you a fog machine. I put haze in there to get this little thin layer, kind of thick, another layer of depth and dimension. When she's dancing and when they're dancing, you can see that they're cutting through the light. You can only see that really because of the haze. The next thing is this blue silhouette. Let's talk about it really brief. Right after we shot in the kitchen, I was like, oh, this looks sick. Standing in front of here, we got the haze going really, really thick, and I just shot it, you know? And again, the same thing applied. The lighting setup is the same. And I like how it came out, I do, but also there's things I don't like about it. And I don't think that really matters. I think for the most part, it added something to it. You know what I mean? It's kind of texturized a little bit. The one thing I wish I did on this one was tone down the grain within the shadows. All right, so the next scene is the outside band. This was kind of difficult. There was a lot of factors that played in. So there was a lot of people that had to get there. We had to set up the band. Golden hour was at like, what, 6, 7 p.m. and it was like 4 o'clock. So we had to wait around a little bit, and I was taking my time for sure. For the most part, we just started shooting real quick, and I did the most important shots at golden hour. And I just tried to match it in post or do the best that I could. So the direction for this was like, let's say a wedding band. You know, you got them summer vibes, you in your flowy dress, linens, rooftop, Hamptons, New York. You hired this dope band, they're playing on the rooftop. The breeze is hitting you, vibing. I don't know about Hamptons. I've never been to the Hamptons. I don't know why I said Hamptons. Either way, you get it. It's just a cool little vibe. We really just utilized the sun, and I tried to diffuse it a little bit with a diffuser. That's really all that we used to do this. And I just made sure that I got as much coverage as possible. I got so many different angles of this one scene just because I was like, we gotta fill up like a good minute. The compositions just, I didn't really think about them that much. It was really just what looks good in the moment. I was floating around with my camera, so every time I went somewhere, I was like, okay, this is a dope spot. Let's run it again. And then I'll move around a little bit, and then I'll put the camera right here. I'm like, okay, this is a dope spot too. Let's run it right here too. You know what I'm saying? So there wasn't really much planning on this side, and there wasn't much references that we had for this shot, but we knew the vibe, you know, and that's really what's important. If you know the vibe and the aesthetic, and like you're on the same page as the artist, like y'all can really brainstorm in the moment and get what y'all both are looking for. This is one of my favorite shots, and I can put the reference image on here. I remember when I first saw it, it's a video by Tim's, not by Tim's, but it's the artist Tim's. And when I saw it, I loved it. I was like, I have to do this for some music video. And this was like the perfect chance for me to do it. So the vibe for this was just, you know, again, the party after the show, So the sun is down, we're all having a good time. Again, think wedding. You have the wedding singers during the day doing their thing, then the sun goes down and it turns into like a DJ set, a party, you know what I'm saying? What I really wanted was layers of depth. I put a harsh light on them, a harsh warm light, which was the 200X with the Fresnel. And then on the next layers where there are blue, I put little pocket lights to shine that really saturated blue. I love it. I loved how that looked and how it turned out. But yeah, that's what I did for them in that middle part. And then in the very, very back is another warm light. There were fairy lights in the back, and I didn't put that there, but you know, I chose to shot in that direction so that we could get it. It was really hard to get this because shooting on a I think I was shooting on a 70mm. Everybody had to be so tight together and they really couldn't move. But you know, trying to make 8 people look like a lot is really hard. At the same time, that 70mm compressing and then getting everybody really jam-packed in there is really what helped. And also like getting people on each stage of that lighting, even though we don't have that many people. Again, the direction was more of like a after party. We're vibing together. We're the only ones that matter in this blue area. You are with somebody that you're really connecting with, and you are the only ones that matter. It feels like the spotlight is only on y'all two. You know, that's kind of the vibe. And that's kind of what we literally portrayed or literally showed. Okay, let's get to this final shot. So this final couch shot, again, love this scene. This scene, it was really because we had a dope spot. I put a link to the spot in the bio. Really, shout out to them. They had a dope spot, a lot of props, well, not props, a lot of decorations for us to play with. 10 out of 10. So this scene right here, there's 2 lights and a practical. So of course the practical is a lamp. There's a 200X kind of simulating the light a little bit, the lamp. Outside that window is 100X shining into them. So it kind of gives them a rim light, plus it just looks cool. Not much more than that. The direction of it was they were chilling with each other. Again, late night, he got some champagne, they're pouring it for each other. Again, doesn't really have to make sense. They have the same clothes on that they were wearing outside. Is this at 3 a.m. in the morning after the party? Maybe. Does it matter? To me, not really. There's not a story. There's a vibe. And I feel like the vibe and aesthetic is there. and we 100% achieved it. It looks amazing and I love this video, and that's why I'm still making a video on it after a year. I've been wanting to make this video for a long time, but I kept on getting in my head. So I'm finally making this a year later, and I hope that y'all got a lot from this talk. If y'all want more videos like this in the future where I break down my videos, or maybe I can break down some of y'all's, or even professional commercials and music videos, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave me a like and a subscribe. It'll help me out a lot. And that's it. I'll see you on the next one.
I don't need fucking sleep. I'm never going home.
Sleep is for me.
I'm running away. I don't need fucking